Hello everyone. I'm gonna go through another open source project that I guess I haven't contributed to it, but I guess I want to, and I'm hopefully by next hopefully um in my lifetime I'm able to accomplish one of this goal, which is contribute to the Linux kernel. Um, on how I was able to I guess I can tell you my story how I end up using the Linux operating system. Um, I think around 2008, when I was in the middle school. Um, I guess when you're like a teenager, I wanna, I don't know. For me, hacking, I guess hacking Wi-Fi, um, seemed cool at that time when I was, a teenager, and I guess I use Google and I type in how to hack Wi-Fi, and I end up finding this Linux distro that's called Backtrack, um which is a Linux distro that has um security tools and hacking tools um built in. Um I think it's this one. Um I guess when I would watch at that time for me it was difficult to type in the terminal. I would go to like um I think a forum or something. I forgot like type in the command like this command, and then like 10 minutes I'll read the instructions and I'll go back to my laptop and try to type it in, and it will take like 20, not 20 minutes, but like 10 minutes. Then I didn't understand it. Um but then in I guess in high school, one of the teachers give us the option to install Ubuntu in the class computer, and this is like the next, I guess, the next stepping stones for me, like try to understand or not install um in the class we had to build our computer and install an operating system. I end up picking Ubuntu because it was well, the teacher seemed excited when he was showing the class, like, oh, look at this new operating system. I think it was Ubuntu 10 point something. um um and then I took it home. I took the Linux disk home, and then I tried to install it on my up laptop. And then now I mostly have, and I after high school, I started distro hopping, where I keep jumping to a different Linux distro like every 6 months or so. But now I just stick to like three distro. One is like for enterprise. I think currently I'm using Alma Linux, which is used for enterprise because it's like stable, and you want to operating system that's stable, and you could reproduce the same setup. And then the next one is um more like like for fun, like Bluefin, which this one is like it's more targeted to software engineers. Um, they try to build like the next generation workstation for developers and have like built-in developer tools. And then the last one I have in my laptop, it's Gen 2. I have Gen 2 installed because I want to one of my goals is to install not install to contribute to a Linux kernel um which was developed by the Linus Torvald. Um, I guess this is one of my life goals. I want to contribute to this project, and I guess one of the steps is I want to learn how to configure Linux, and one of the ways to learn how to configure Linux is using Gen 2. Um, um, I was able to install it. I was able to install Gen 2 just by following the instructions that they have on their wiki, I think. Um, um, I know online a lot of people online say that Gen 2 is hard to install. It's mostly just following, reading the instruction and following it. Um, it's just mostly reading, going through step two. Um, you pick your CPU or this one I picked, I think AMD 64. And I was able to um get it up and running on my laptop just by following these instructions. And currently I'm trying to figure out how to compile my own Linux kernel. But one of the challenges that current I'm currently having is I'm getting a Linux kernel Panda kernel, and I guess I created like a I'm starting to create like I created a new tool that will help me um build my Linux kernel, and it's still in alpha, but and I use Gemini to bootstrap the app, and here's the example. Like it's supposed to when you run the app, it's supposed to tell you your operating system, then how much if you have all the dependency to build a kernel, and if you don't have that dependency, it's gonna tell you, and you can install it by just clicking this button, and um and then you're able to download a Linux kernel just by clicking here. I'm gonna click here, and it's gonna download it to a folder, which is right here. Um, I created this app because I wanted a tool that's easy to use, and like not boring. I mean, sometimes the terminal's cool, but like sometimes it's just sometimes I hate using the terminal. Now I want something easy. Not just easy, but like fun to use. I want software fun to use. I don't know if you could hear it, but like if I go through the menus, it plays a sound. And this I know it's still an alpha, but like if I click this button, it makes a sound. No, it crashed. And I guess one of the other I like Linux because you can do whatever you want. Um, you can customize the operating systems. You could up you can customize the operating system depending on what you want to do. And Windows and app Mac OS, I guess they limit on what the users can do to the operating system. In Linux, it just lets you do whatever. And I used to end up crashing my Linux workstation, and I always had to reinstall my the Linux distro, when I always um end up breaking something inside. And that's one of the reason I like to use the Linux kernel, the Linux operating system.